the stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Good evening. My name is Chris Louder, Superintendent of Cabarrus County Schools, and on behalf of the Cabarrus County Board of Education and the Cabarrus County Schools Administration, I would like to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony as we celebrate and recognize the class of 2018. Every year around this time, I start thinking about graduation and how important it is. Graduating from a public high school is something the vast majority of Americans experience and something that we all share, and it's one of the reasons that it's such a special achievement. Because it's so special, I always try to think about what I want to say to all of you graduates and what I want you to take away on this day of your success. As I contemplated that message, it became crystal clear what message I wanted to send to you. Do not be afraid of failure. Let me explain what I mean. Failure can be awesome. Failure is often underrated, and sometimes losing is one of the best things that can happen to you. If you look at many important people in history, the list is filled with people who failed and lost. Abraham Lincoln went to war a captain and returned a demoted private. He failed at business, he suffered a nervous breakdown, and he lost at least 5 elections. He was in many ways a failure. He also led our nation through its greatest crisis and made the emancipation of slaves the official policy of the U.S. government. He may not have been able to do many of these important things if he wouldn't have failed first. Oprah Winfrey desperately wanted to be on television and become a TV anchor. She was demoted from her job as the anchor in Baltimore, and the producer told her she was unfit for television news. He said she got too invested in her stories and demoted her to a much lower daytime show. She failed. That show became a hit, and she used the investment in people and stories to create an empire and become the undisputed queen of television and worth about $3 billion. Steve Jobs fired from the company that he helped create. Walt Disney fired as an animator and told he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Steven Spielberg rejected 3 times from film school. J.K. Rowling rejected by 12 major publishers, and the list goes on and on. What is important about all of these stories is that these people didn't quit. They failed and learned and kept working towards what they wanted. It's not just work where failure is important. It's in many other aspects of life. Alfred Lord Tennyson said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." I think what he meant was it was better to put your heart out there and lose than it is to sit on the sidelines and never tell a person how you feel or never know what it means to love or to be loved. So don't be afraid to put yourself on the line and have your heart broken in two. Having your heart broken the first time may make you more mature and prepared for love the next time. In my own life, even though I didn't know it at first, failure has helped me. I did okay in school and made mostly A's and B's, and then I hit geometry. I found it really difficult and pretty quickly got lost. I remember the first time the teacher passed out the test and I had no idea how to work any of the problems. I remember looking around the room and seeing everyone else start working. It was like the room was shrinking, and I realized and thought, I'm the biggest failure in the room. I can't do any of this. To some degree, I never recovered from that day in math. I lost my confidence and struggled with math every other time I took it. Later, when I was trying to decide what to do with my life, I kept getting drawn back to teaching and a need to try to explain things and connect with other people and hopefully help them not feel like a failure in that room. I became an English teacher, not a math teacher. I loved all of the time that I spent as a teacher, and I would tell you that the most important thing that helped me as an educator was knowing what it was like to be in that geometry classroom. Knowing what it was like to start sweating because I didn't know or understand was the most important skill that I had as a teacher because I could help other students that didn't understand. I'm thankful for struggling in geometry because I believe struggling in geometry made me a much better teacher. Pat Conroy, author of The Prince of Tides and The Lords of Discipline, wrote a lesser-known book called My Losing Season. It's one of my favorite books. Mr. Conroy was a senior on the basketball team for the Citadel in 1966 and 1967. The team finished 8-17. In other words, they were a losing team. My Losing Season is about all the things he learned about himself and life during that year. He said, "Many of my teammates wish that year never happened. I consider it one of the great years of my life, if not the greatest. If I could change history, if I could change everything that happened that year, if I could bring us a national championship, I wouldn't do it." We live in a world where everyone and everything tells you that you must always win. Win, win, win. Win at all costs. Mr. Conroy offers a different take. He says winning makes you think that you'll always get the girl, land the job, deposit the $1 million check, win the promotion, and you grow accustomed to a life of answered prayers. Loss is a fiercer, more compromising teacher, cold-hearted, but clear-eyed in its understanding that life is more dilemma than game and more trial than free pass. My acquaintance with loss has sustained me during the stormy passages of my life. And though I learned some things from the games we won that year, I learned much, much more from loss. So to the class of 2018, we say congratulations. As you go out into the world, know that failure is a part of everyone's story. You have nothing to fear. Your experience and your family and your teachers and your community have prepared you to live a great life. Even though there will be difficulties, your ability to fail and keep fighting is what will determine your destiny. My wish for you is very simple. It is that you try your best and you learn how to fail, because failure is how every major success story begins. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce Matt Castles, the senior class president. He is the son of Kimberly and Paul Castles. He's a member of the National Honor Society, Leadership, and the Beta Club, and he will be attending NC State and major in business administration.
Thank you, Dr. Lauder. Platform guests, teacher and students, parents, family, friends, and graduates. Welcome to the Cox Mill High School Class 2018's graduation. First of all, let's hear for the class of 2018. Chargers, we have finally made it. No more 7:15 bells. No more trying to find a dime in your car to print an assignment that you completely forgot about. No more midnight Canvas deadlines. No more waiting to begin the journey that awaits us. We survived. We as Cox Mill students all experience the same nervous excitement the first time that we step foot in the Commons. The same enjoyment of acting energetic in the student section for the very first time, or experiencing the sigh of relief the second that you found out that you had the same class with a good friend. As Chargers, we have been taught by our teachers, administrators, coaches, and staff to become the change that we wish to see in the future, whether it be through community service events or finding a place in our heart to recognize the ones that we have lost. Cox Mill has shown our class how to become better individuals. We have survived 4 years of a roller coaster of emotions, experiences, and opportunities. Now it's time to rejoice and recognize the hard work that we have done to get us here today. Most importantly, we should look to those who have helped shape us over the past 4 years. Teachers, thank you for pushing back assignments our classes obviously forgot about. Administration, thank you for providing us with valuable learning lessons when we are not always following the rules. And Chargers, thank you for making Cox Mill the place it is today, a place we can all call home. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's distinguished platform guests. Representing the Board of Education are Ms. Linda Furtenbaugh, Board Chair, Ms. Carolyn Carpenter, Board Vice Chair, Mr. David Harrison, Mr. Robert Kirk, Mr. Vince Powell, Mr. Barry Shoemaker, and Mr. Rob Walter. Cabarrus County Schools Superintendent, Dr. Christopher Lauder. And from the Cabarrus County Schools District Office, Dr. Crystal Hill, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Ms. Belinda Jones, Superintendent of Human Resources. Mrs. Kelly Klutz, Chief Financial Officer. Mrs. Lynn Reimer, Deputy Superintendent of School Operations. Dr. Kelly Probst, Assistant Superintendent of Auxiliary Services. Thank you for joining us today. In addition, I would like to introduce the following representatives of Cox Mill High School who are on stage today. Mr. Todd Smith, Principal, Mr. Mark Lowry, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Erin Taylor and Emily Hadzimenovich, who will be assisting with diplomas. I would also like to recognize Mrs. Yolanda Blakeney, Assistant Principal, who is offering her assistance with today's ceremony on the floor, and Mrs. Becky Austin and Ms. Courtney Liam, our graduation coordinators. Also on stage are my fellow Student Council officers. Jack LaMarche, Student Body President. Alexander Reed, Senior Class Secretary. Allison Finley, Senior Class Treasurer. Matthew Alderford, Senior Class Historian. And Jessica Kimes. Jessica Kimes led the Pledge of Allegiance. She's our Senior Vice President. She's the daughter of Dennis and Lori Kimes. Jessica will be attending Appalachian State University in the fall, majoring in business management. I also would like to acknowledge Courtney Weber, the Class of 2018 graduation speaker. I would like to thank the Northwest Cabarrus and Cox Mill Air Force, JROTC, under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Calvin Martin and Senior Master Sergeant Corinne Smith for presenting and posting our nation's colors. I want to thank the Cox Mill Graduation Band under the direction of Mr. Adam Singer for its contribution to today's ceremony. We also extend our gratitude to Ms. Jennifer Cook and the Cox Mill Chorus, who will now be presenting Hold Fast to Dreams by Andre J. Thomas as a tribute to the class of 2018. Thank you, Ms. Cook and chorus members. Jack LaMarche, Student Body President, will now offer some reflections on the class of 2018. Jack is the son of Derek and Melissa LaMarche. He's an officer in both Chem and Key Club, captain of the tennis team, and a Moorhead Cane nominee. He will be attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Thank you, Matt. Congratulations, class of 2018. You've done your hard work. Now is the time to sit back, relax, and listen to a bunch of people dressed in robes spout off inspirational words for 2 hours. I stressed a lot about writing this speech. It's really difficult to write something that all of you will love, relate to, and that'll inspire you on a truly deep level, especially when I barely believe that I'm the one qualified to be giving this speech. There have been countless hours of editing and rewrites, brainstorming, and watching YouTube videos in hopes of finding inspiration for this. In other words, if my speech is terrible, please do not tell me. Let me down easy. Anyways, I appreciate you all listening to what I have to say, and I hope you enjoy what I've written for you. According to the philosopher John Stuart Mill, the only way for the whole truth to emerge is by the reconciling and combining of opposites. And the truth used to seem so easy to find. You could consult newspapers or your local friendly stranger, or even the internet. Today, it seems almost impossible that any truth could emerge from the dumpster fire that the internet has become. There's an animosity present in today's society that is completely unprecedented in modern America. We no longer speak to understand others, but rather to see who can be the loudest. That's not indicative of the state of the American people, and it's certainly in no way to improve a society. But Chargers, whether we like it or not, it falls on us to carry the legacies left by those before us. Sitting amongst us today are future doctors, lawyers, and architects. It's not only on us to reconcile and combine opposing viewpoints, but to be the face of our country. It is up to us to create a society and world in which we will enjoy living. And I believe that each and every one of us here today is capable of that. I've seen what we're capable of. Whether it's solving math problems that stump most competent adults, or enabling our computers to let us watch Netflix in class, or even just enjoying each other's company while blasting Lil Uzi in the school parking lot, there's something about our class that screams success. I believe in us, and I hope that you will too. It sounds simple to say that it's not the school that makes the people, but the people that make the school. I'm sure most of us can't wait to get out of here, setting out on a path of freedom that 4 periods and a lunch block couldn't previously afford us, and there's nothing wrong with that. But before you go, before we leave this place that we've called home for these past 4 years, please consider this. We are the students that have made Cox Mill the greatest school in Cabarrus County. We are the athletes that won trophies and the maniacs that supported them. We are the artists that create masterpieces worthy of hanging in the halls of Cox Mill, the actors and actresses who will star in groundbreaking shows and movies. There's literally nothing that we aren't capable of, and these past 4 years are only the tip of a much bigger, purpler iceberg. If there's one thing that I hope stays with you after this night is over, it's that every student here tonight is capable of making change for good in our world. Whether or not our views and goals differ from one another, there's a unifying force that emerges as a result of trudging up and down the stairs in the Commons at 7:15 for 4 years. We are a unified school, a group who will be forever intertwined by our experience as Chargers. Albert Einstein once wrote, The most beautiful and deepest experience a person can have is a sense of the mysterious. To sense that behind anything that can be experienced, there is something that our mind cannot grasp and whose beauty and simplicity are but a feeble reflection. To me, it suffices to wonder at these secrets and to attempt humbly to grasp with my mind a mere image of the lofty structure of all that there is. As we embark on our new journey together, let us remember that it's important to enjoy the mysteries of what lies ahead. For all of the unknowns that this world can throw at us, remember that we will leave this room today bonded in the spirit of Cox Mill High School. Work together to solve the problems that are presented to us. Take the lead in all the endeavors that you pursue and allow yourself to have fun with the opportunities that you will be provided with. I have faith in us not only to succeed as a generation, but to be the ones who will be written about in history books and remembered forevermore. Let this graduation serve as the first step on your path to greatness. Thank you. Our student keynote speaker this evening is Courtney Weber. Courtney is the daughter of Steve and Amy Weber. She served as a chemistry club officer and as a member of the National Honor Society. Courtney was a 4-year varsity volleyball player with a state championship title and Conference Player of the Year recognition. She will be continuing her athletic and academic career at the University of South Carolina Honors College, majoring in chemistry.
Thank you, Jack. Good evening. I would like to begin by thanking the support system of our 2018 graduating class. This is family, including parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and that best friend who is basically related to you. This is also Cox Mill staff, including teachers, counselors, and coaches. Without you all, we would not be crossing the stage or turning our tassels tonight. Whether you've been with us since day one back in August 2014 or recently joined the Cox Mill family, we are all Chargers. But what exactly does it mean to be a Charger? There are many admirable traits and traditions associated with that title. One trait I find most reflected in this class is determination. For starters, it took a great amount of drive and motivation to make it to this graduation ceremony. That is an accomplishment in itself. Charger determination can be defined in several ways. Our hardworking nature shines differently for each of us. For some, it is in the classroom. For others, it is on the field, court, or stage. It is best said in the broken English of Jedi Master Yoda, "Do or do not, there is no try." Another distinctive trait of a Charger is our preparation for the future. Once we take the stage to receive our diplomas tonight, each one of us will be embarking on an individual journey toward success. Whether this means college or the workforce, we are now equipped with the knowledge and work ethic to succeed. The famous wizard, Albus Dumbledore, once said, "It is our choices that show us what we truly are far more than our abilities." We will carry with us individual memories of our Charger traditions. Some will reminisce on the satisfying taste of a cookout tray after an easy basketball win or a rough football loss. Others will try to forget how early the 7:15 morning bell rang and the long afternoons of tutoring, clubs, and sport practices. But all of us will look back on grand school events like prom, state championship games, and this day of graduation. Although the anticipation for the next chapter of our lives has built up with each passing day of senior year, we will forever be Chargers. So today, I would like to pose a challenge to each of you graduates. Next year, each of us will assume a new title. Some of us will become Tar Heels, Mountaineers, or Gamecocks, while others will be selected as firefighters or soldiers. Wherever your futures take you, I challenge you all to uphold the Charger title. You might not continue to wear a chargeable on a t-shirt, but I ask that you wear it on your sleeve. I challenge you to honor what it means to be a Charger through your hard work, your determination, and your preparation for the future. You are all full of untapped potential success, So I challenge you to carry on the Charger name in the future and live your lives to the fullest. No one says it better than artist J. Cole. There is no such thing as a life that's better than yours. We've been waiting on this day of graduation like we wait for the fourth quarter bananas cheer. We all know how that cheer goes, even breaking a few bones in the process. To end this speech, I would like to take one last walk down the halls of Cox Mill High School. I begin on the math hallway and realize that we're each an equation waiting to be calculated. In the science lab, my personal favorite, we each began as elements, progressed to compounds, and are now complex molecules. In our history classes, we are uncharted waters waiting to be explored. On the English hall, we are each a novel waiting to be written. In foods class, we each have the ingredients to cook up our individual success. In the horticulture lab, we all begin as seeds and blossom into different plants. As I look into the auditorium, I see our stage is set for greatness. I peek into the gym and realize that we each have a championship title to win. As I leave the school parking lot for the last time, I remember, once a Charger, always a Charger. We are each bolts of lightning waiting to strike. I challenge you to strike. Thank you and congratulations to my fellow class of 2018 graduates. I would now like to introduce to you our principal, Mr. Todd Smith. Thank you.
Good evening. I would like to take a minute to talk about how proud we are of this graduating class. 4 years ago, I had the privilege of meeting the class of 2018 for the first time. When you started at Cox Mill in 2014, our student enrollment was 1,495. In your 4 years, you have seen us grow to 1,746 students and 124 staff members. Students, you have done an outstanding job in your classes, in representing Cox Mill High School in various extracurricular activities, and in creating school spirit. One of the best compliments our school receives is the amount of school spirit and school pride that is being created. Students, your leadership and hard work have been instrumental to our success. Here are just a few examples. Recognized as one of the top 500 public high schools in America in the 2016 Newsweek High School Rankings, our athletic program won 5 state team championships, competed in 6 Final Fours, won numerous conference championships, and twice were the recipients of the Wells Fargo Cup. Our fine arts program received several superior ratings in regional and state festivals and in district competitions. The class of 2018 will have the first graduates from our Academy of Information Technology. To date, the class of 2018 has reported $8,786,062 in scholarships awarded, completed 460 college classes, and earned 1,259 college credits through North Carolina Career and College Promise. Helped establish a variety, go ahead, that's fine. Helped establish a variety of clubs and honor societies for students to join, participated in community service projects, held school dances and pep rallies every year. Your strong leadership has set a positive and creative tone for all students who will follow you at Cox Mill High School. You have been instrumental in creating the Charger family. When I'm asked about Cox Mill and what makes our school a special place, the first word I always think of is family. To the class of 2018, your Cox Mill High family says thanks. Thanks for all your great work and leadership, and we wish you only the best in your future pursuits. It has truly been an honor to have been your principal. Dr. Louder and special guest, it is my pleasure to present the following candidates for graduation from Cox Mill High School.
parents, guests, and friends. Today is a special and momentous occasion for the Cox Mill High School family. I am proud of these young adults and the contributions that they have made and will make in the future. Denoted in each program are our honor graduates who will be recognized on stage by their stoles and cords. Please follow the notations in your programs. Cum laude graduates have maintained at least a 3.625 grade point average, magna cum laude at least a 4.0, and summa cum laude a 4.32 or higher. So that each graduate will be respected, I ask that you hold your applause and wait quietly until the last graduate's name is called, because every name deserves to be heard. Thank you. Jack Paxton LaMarche. Matthew Donald Castles. Jessica Lee Kimes. Alexander James Reed. Allison Jade Finley. Matthew James Aldifer. Courtney Joe Weber. Nicholas James Abraham. Seth Daniel Adams. Joshua Paul Allen. Colin Benjamin Alpern. Mark Ryan Altman. Grace Elizabeth Anthony. Alina Catherine Archibald. Miles Trevor Arnold. Caleb Randall Axe. Justice Khalees Bailey. Madison Alicia Baker. Paige Elizabeth Baldelli. Marcus Eugene Ballard. Crystal Marie Baltazar. Kenya Michelle Banks. Taya Ann Banks. Chelsea Lauren Barksdale. Magdalene Isabella Barnes. Vincent Leon Barnett Jr. Tyler Scott Barish. Jarrell T. Bell. Sarah Nicole Bell. William Franklin Bell. Zachary Murray Bell. Jessica Christine Bennett. Rashawn Malik Black. Ma'ana Amina Blake. Makina Satawi Blake. Nathan John Blucher. Gerald Levon Blue. Zachary Lane Borman. Tavis Trevor Jr. Braithwaite. Barry Alexander Briley. Samuel Carter Brandwood. William Takeshi Bazell. Ryan Mackenzie Brigant. Nazir Keon Dwayne Bryce. Matthew Austin Brightman. Delana Joyce Brimacombe. Aaron London Brinkley. Pamela Kate Brinkley. John Franklin Brosnahan. Noah Christopher Brosnahan. Jacob Ross Brown. Jalen Naeem Brumby. Kayla Simone Bullock. Sydney Rose Burbacher. Jalen Lee Bynum. Stephen Donald Campbell. Joshua Dalton Candidate. Nicholas Christopher Capadora Jr. Haley Maria Carey. Anthony Michael Carniglia. Quinn Mackenzie Carson. Ansley May Carter. Jordan Allen Kaysen. Audrey Elizabeth Chanel. Michaela Gail Chavez. Wenyu Chen. Nakib Chowdhury. Jordan Taylor Clark. Michaela Anise Clark. Bryson Thomas Columbus. Tanner Esten Columbus. Brandon Kenneth Cope. Miles Solomon Corbin. Benjamin David Karate. Tanner Braxton Covington. Michael James Cowart. Kimberly Ann Crochet. Noah Peyton Crookshanks. Fernando Cruz Jr. Bailey Marie Cullen. Tydeja Janae Davis. Paige Nicole Davern. Timothy Emmanuel Dawkins. Brianna Nicole Deese. Shannon Michael Dietzel. Matthew David D'Amelio. William Joseph Dempsey. Anna Denise. Kayla Jody DePaula Sheehan. John Peter DePoe. Evan Alexander Dill. Kaylee Joe Dodson. Caitlin Marie Duran. Rushi Shalaskumar Doshi. Brandon Lee Dufresne. Dominic Dennis Dulepre Jr. Arlise Duran Lorenz. Corinne Maria Duran. Alexander Blair Eaton. Madeline Avery Eaton. Amelia Nicole Edgerton. Kendall Marie Edward. Omer Gamali Etalib. Venkatesh Erninti. Leah Alexandra Esposito. Chaneli Estevez. Kyle David Fabrizio. Caleb Avila Feliciano. Weston Alexander Felker. Michelle Furhi Pinto. Caitlin Alicia Finney. Darian Jackson Forney. Cole Mitchell Foster. Justin Allen Fox. Trevor Joseph Frampton. Kevin Tyler Frazier. Adam Michael Fuller. Samantha Jane Lynn Gaynor. Shayla Janae Garcia. Cody James Garney. Ronell Lamar Gathing. Aubrey Lynn Geltz. Manaya Shanae Gilly. Natalie Renee Gillen. Anthony Jose Geraldo Sanchez. Cooper Donnell Gibbons. Jordan Elise Gooden. Sankalp Kanchi Gotur. Imagine Nayana Graham. Michael Thomas William Gravanda. Austin James Greer. Colin James Gross. Michaela Marie Higgins. Joel Ethan Hall. Kylie Morgan Hall. Zachary Andrew Harris. Ocean Destiny Harrison. Brooke Suzanne Haruff. Nazir Khalil Hart. Chloe Grace Hartzell. Jack Davis Haskins. Alex Wayne Hefney. Alyssa Marie Heights. Daniel Brian Henderson. Dylan Lee Henderson. Josephine Ann Hendricks. Kayla Simone Hill. Spencer Isaiah Hill. Zachary James Holscher. Mackenzie Joan Holland. Maxwell Anthony Holt. Emily Elizabeth Horn. Michael Robert Horn. Yiwen Hu. Austin Marcellus Howard. Nicole Alexandra Uman. Nia Simone Huckabee. Abigail Jackson Huffman. Rashawn Orlando Lamar Hutchins. Nana Apaya Hutchison. Alexis Marie Avicone. Angela Maria Ignafo. Eric Lee Irvin. David Ntabo Isabok. Trinity Simone Jackson. Ava Michelle Janowski. Alyssa John Paul. Arshia Fatima Gilani. Michaela Erica John. Cameron Bryce Johnson. Sarian Alexander Johnson. Kayla Dawn Teresa Jones. Matthew James Jones. Milton Franklin Jones. Taria Shaya Joseph. Taylor Nicole Joseph. Joshua Eduji Colton Sine. Riley Matthew Kaufman. Jake Barinder Kelly. Elizabeth Ray Kearns. Ryan Michael Kerrigan. Wise Ahmed Khan. Kyle Christopher Kiger. Sally Kimba. Sophia Marilyn Kirby. Joshua Douglas Clapp. Jarrett Kevin Knight. Lindsay Nicole Koenig. Lauren Elizabeth Kostelnick. Laura Paula Nicole Krakow. Emma Victoria La Liberty. Alexandra Stacy Emily Lalou. Harley Elizabeth Lambert. Carter Joseph Landry. Miriam LaRusi. Jordan Taylor Laubach. Rickadine Leclerc. Rihanna Kaya Lee. Ethan Alexander Lewis. Jalen A. Lewis. Rebecca Isabella Lindgren. Malachi Arthur Lennon. Quasi Nehemiah Littlejohn. Luke Donald Lorton. Alyssa Marie Losky. Alexia Carolyn Lucchesi. Erilyn Elona Lynch. May Victoria McConney. Andrew Robert Sloan Molesky. Noah Gabriel Mangione. Sahit Reddy Manakonda. John Robert Manson. Tessa May Marshall. Rosalinda Martinez. Clifford Adrian Mask. Chloe Victoria Mays. Grayson Gabriella McClamrock. Danielle Michelle McClure. Damon A. McCoy. Jada Avery McCrae. Gavin Michael McCullough. Miles Aiden McGee. Sarah Jane McHale. Rena Antoinette McIntosh. Niall Richard McKinnon. Arne Keon McLean. Anel Mayu McNair. Miles Jacob McNeely. Sean Darcy Mehta. Angelis Christelle Melendez. Christian Chance Miesmer. Dalton Bailey Miles. Alexander Lewis Miller. Cole Grayson Milstead. Amaya Lachey Milton. Destiny Sky Mitchell. Jason Jared Mitchell. Suzanne Elizabeth Mitchell. Peyton Riley Mockerman. Emma Sheridan Moore. Sydney Kirsten Moore. Isabella Renee Moreno. Mary Elizabeth Vivian Morgan. Erin Catherine Morphy. Trinity Rayanne Mosley. Michael Ryan Motley. Jessica Olivia Orlando Msamtaka. Matthew Christopher Mumford. Kyle Sinclair Mungo. Evelyn Brooke Monroe. John William Wynn. Tin Fing Ni. Anton Nicholson. Austin Dean Noyes. Michaela Rain O'Malley. Avery Nicole Ollis. Amber Lynn Oria. Jacqueline Susanna Palacios. Jacob Alexander Palladino. Chloe Morgan Parker. Casey Madison Parker. Brittany Lee Pasquale. Simran Dipakumar Patel. Amber Nicole Patterson. Haley Catherine Patterson. Logan Alexander Patterson. Morgan Elizabeth Pepper. Nicholas Ryan Pepper. Michelle Nice Peralta. Amanda Nicole Perdomo. Jada Lynn Person. Kane Charles Pfeiffer. Brady Quinn Philemon. Lauren Elizabeth Phillips. Michaela Janae Poindexter. Clifton Robert Porter. Atharva Ashish Punikar. Chinwan Key. Amanda Tess Radcliffe. Savannah Noel Ratliff. Breeze Mackenzie Ratliff. Anna McKenna Ray. Jonathan Chase Ray. Peja Lauren Reed. Shelby Jean Reed. Kaylee Ann Rue. Danielle Helen Rizzo. Brianna Amaya Robertson. Meredith Paige Robinson. Morgan Lane Robinson. Zachary Christian Rogers. Morgan Maylee Romine Arbuckle. Allison Monique Ross. John Michael Roundsiffer. Taylor Elise Rowland. Jacob Samuel Rubenstein. Niharika Satesh Kumar. Jacob Bennett Saunders. Zachary Taylor Savage. Bailey Nicole Sebastian Seckler. Allison Christine Searsma. Haley Elizabeth Siffringer. Alexia Teresa Sims. Morgan Elizabeth Sims. Malcolm Graham Skinner. Alyssa Elizabeth Slater. Carrie Ann Slade. DeAndre Javon Smalls. Ashley Ann Smith. Dylan James Smith. Micaiah Jasmine Smith. Charles Kenneth Snyder. Alyssa Marie Sandrini. Jake Richard Sorrentino. Wesley Montalvo Souders. Lauren Taylor Spunich. Morgan Bethany Stack. William Donovan Stanley. Luke Jackson Stedman. Michaela Destiny Steele. Faith Marie Stokes. Hope Leanne Stokes. Ryan Edward Strand. Lewis Brian Strickland. Kevin Christian Strickland. Teresa Marie Sturkey. Jonathan Angelo Suarez. Anna Leigh Suit. John Francis Sullivan. Shemaiah Rashay Surat. Nahush Dilip Kambe. Austin Grant Taylor. Jillian Michael Taylor. Jason Devon Taylor. Peyton Michelle Taylor. Madison Jane Terry. Arushi Thakur. Jessica Faith Thornhill. Anna Catherine Thau. Christopher Anthony Tong. Devin Latrell Toomer. Asia Aviela Tran. Abigail Joanne Eubaus. Nathan John Eula. Cameron Jordan Urbach. Morgan Lee Van Bibber. Samuel Vasquez. Andrew Nicholas Vinton. Samantha Drew Walker. Trevor John Wallace. Nasir Marquise Washington. Hannah Grace Watson. Tori Michelin Watson. Carrie Ann Watt. Carson Dillian Wayne. Joy Ashley Weaver. Caleb Rayford White. Asaya Javon Williams. Austin Lehman Churchill Williams Jr. Sydney Olivia Williams. Alexis Maria Wills. Avery Catherine Wilson. Chloe McLaurin Wilson. Lucy Pierce Wilson. Eric Joseph Wojcik. Benjamin Lee Woodall. Jayla Nicole Works. Nishida Yadav. Viswa Saketh Yakala. Akili Rian Yearwood. Kayla Nicole Young. Damaris Zambrana Solo.
In the presence of these witnesses and the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Cabarrus County Board of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of Cox Mill High School.
Before we turn our tassels, we sincerely want to thank some very special people who have inspired us. To our parents and our teachers, we say a most heartfelt thank you. Now it is our turn. As this journey comes to an end, let us perform one final action together. This tassel represents the authority given to us by Cox Mill as a degree-granting institution of secondary education in North Carolina. The movement of the tassel symbolizes the exact moment you are granted your diploma. Graduates of the class of 2018, as you look to tomorrow, see this act not as an end, but a new beginning. May our future paths be as rewarding as those as our past. Congratulations, class of 2018. Will the graduates please stand? You may now place your tassel on the left side of your cap. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to today's ceremony and sharing this accomplishment with everyone this evening. We ask that you please not come onto the floor of the arena as the graduates recess. Instead, meet the graduates in front of the arena following the recessional. Will the audience please stand in honor of the graduates? And it is now my pleasure to introduce to you the 2018 graduates of Cox Mill High School.